Yeah, I'm gonna cut through the bullshit. These are some of my favorite albums of all time. With Metal Live. Oh man, If You Want Blood, 1978, live album, Bon Scott. For Highway to Hell, I mean, this was like AC/DC, in your face, in your ears. Man, Riff Raff, unbelievable live, the way they open up with that. The solo, Let There Be Rock, Angus goes ape shit on it. Different lyrics for the Jack. Bon was like just letting it all fucking hang out. Beginning, A Whole Lot of Rosie, Angus! Angus! I mean, If You Want Blood kicks ass. That's definitely gotta be one of the greatest live albums of all time. Wang Dang Sweet Boom Tang. You know, he said in the beginning, that whole rap. We're gonna do it one time to 99 Nashville, Tennessee. We're divine, we're gonna do it to you, we're gonna do it to you. And all the music goes out to that, yeah. If anybody wants to get mellow, you can just get the fuck out of here. I mean, Wang Dang Sweet Boom Tang. You know, this goes out to all that Nashville pussy, the intro to that fucking rock. Motor City Madhouse, where he just totally screams into the mic. I mean, if you crank that fucking album, your neighbors will call the cops. And I've seen it happen. My brother used to crank that album. My neighbors would fucking freak. Rock Bottom. Rock fucking bottom. Hello Chicago, from England, UFO. And then you just hear that fucking Shanker and just bust out. Just non-stop fucking intensity. You know, Shanker's guitar just talking to you. So melodic and so much feeling. You know, and he's just fucking, the vibrato is amazing. And it's fucking, you know, the guitar playing on that album is like fucking makes me fucking just want to fucking jerk off. God, what do you say about a double album? Shit, every fucking tune was like almost over 10 minutes long. Maybe except for a couple of tunes, but live version of Highway Star is just like madness in the beginning, you know, just starting off and it just gets fucking crazy. Ian Gillan screams on Child in Time. 22 minutes of space trucking, you know, it's like you're fucking just jamming on the moon. Dum 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 dum. It's just intense, man. The Mule drum solo, Ian Pace, one of the most underrated drummers. Man, those Japs, man, they fucking, they love Cheap Trick. You know, before this album, nobody even really gave a shit about Cheap Trick over in America, but then Budokan came out and, you know, it took the Japs for us to fucking realize, you know, what's going on. We had to wake up. You know, we might have bombed them on Hiroshima, but they bombed us with Budokan. So, gotta give it up to the Japs. Everybody knows about this one, man. I mean, this is when Halford proved he was the metal god, victim of changes. You know, that last scream, I mean, this blows away the studio version. Victim of changes! I mean, Rob Halford, you know, that's like the fucking, I mean, that's like the best part of that fucking album where Halford just lets it out. Of course, the Sinner live, the Ripper, I mean, every tune's a killer. Probably the best metal, one of the best metal live albums of all time. Kiss Alive, I mean, the bombs in the beginning, you know, and it's Paul with the fucking rap before Cold Gin. How many people out there like to drink tequila? And he's like, I want to know how many people like the taste of alcohol? Woo! And then Peter Criss does this fucking, you know, this funky, weird drum fucking roll. I tell you something, there's a lot of people out there that like to drink tequila. Well, yeah. I was talking to somebody backstage before, and there's a lot of people out there that like to drink vodka and orange juice. You know, I mean, that's great fucking, that's live for you. You know, you gotta have that fucking, that interplay with the crowd. You know, they sounded better live than they did in the studio. Even though I found out years later it wasn't as live as everyone thought it was. They went back and really did a lot of finishing touches to that, but still great fucking live album.
Live at Leeds.
The Who live at Leeds, wow. Ain't much for artwork, is there, on that, but they didn't need it. The album spoke for itself. I mean, you know, they got the 15-minute version of My Generation where they're going in and out of Tommy, and then they're just like improvising. I could picture Pete just looking at Keith and like hitting a note, da 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 da, and then, you know, like Keith is just waiting, and then he just starts fucking jamming, and you know, that version of My Generation where they're just totally improvising and they're jamming. I mean, that's like the fucking best shit. Total feel. You know, Summertime Blues is on there. Young Man Blues. Fucking great. You know, favorite song off this album is Shaking All Over. Bam, bam. Shivers down my backbone. I mean, Daltrey fucking screaming. I mean, Plant had to have been fucking influenced by Daltrey. I mean, obviously his look. I mean, fucking long curly hair and just a fucking presence. I mean, when you hear that album, you can picture them on stage. It's that live. It fucking, the speakers and the fucking sound go out at you. They come into you, man. So it's fucking, they make you feel like you're there. And that's the essence of a great live album. Band of Gypsies. I think the best Hendrix album of all time. People talk about Electric Ladyland or Our Experience, but he didn't have Noel Redding or Mitch Mitchell, but man, Buddy Miles had just such a tight fucking drum beat, man. He was right in there. Billy Cox on bass, but Machine Gun, that's all I gotta say. Just that one note that rings forever before Hendrix goes on like a fucking massacre on the guitar. And you watch the footage, he's just standing there and the guitar just screaming. Power of Soul. I mean, that album just killed me. The English metal, the new wave of British heavy metal. One of the bands that nobody really, I mean, I guess people know what's up with the new wave of British heavy metal. Don't know what's up with Saxon. I mean, before they sold out on Innocence Is No Excuse, you know, Biff, what happened with you guys? You guys were going so good. You know, Eagles Landed, Power of the Glory Crusader, and then you put out, that was your turbo. You know, that was your fucking turbo lover. But this is the ultimate Saxon album. Anybody wants to get into Saxon, get this album. Fucking live, brutal, new wave of British heavy metal at its best. Man, guitar playing, fucking just rips your head off. Brian Robertson, Scott Gorham, just so fucking tight. Phil Lynott, just, you know, the fucking heavy bluesy vocals and just the heavy rhythms. And as far as I'm concerned, the best live album of all time.
I'm very glad to hear you say that, Mark, because, you know, this is Phil. I've been busy.
Back from the dead.
Not quite as dead as I was made out to be.
It was a hoax.
Internet rumor.
Phil's still alive.
Cheers to Mike. And a mic. Let me shout out.
Oh yeah, gotta love that. Phil's back in the house.